The campaign trail here, Monmouth University out with a new head-to-head poll pitting the remaining Republican candidates against Hillary Clinton. The result, John Kasich is the only candidate who beats Clinton in a hypothetical general election matchup, 45 to 39%. You can see her advantage over Donald Trump, a 10 percentage point advantage, also 5 percentage point advantage over Ted Cruz. My next guest says one reason for this could be Kasich's willingness to talk about issues that directly impact voters' wallets. Brian Brenberg is a business and economics professor at the King's College. Brian, good morning. This directly backs up a Fox News poll from earlier this week that the two front runners can't beat Hillary Clinton. Is it wrong? Can it change?
Yeah, of course it can change. I mean, who could count out Donald Trump at this point, right? You look at a poll like this and you say, okay, he's behind in a lot of key demographics, but he's made up ground in a lot of ways nobody expected before. But it is interesting to see Kasich beating Clinton, and I do think it has something to do with this ability to portray himself as the candidate who can actually get things done, the guy who's been in office, who's run the government, who's made positive fiscal changes in the government, and at a time when we're looking at growing deficits again and growing debts, he kind of has a credible message there. And so I think that's part of the reason why he's ahead in that poll with Clinton. But of course, again, you can't count out a guy like Trump and you can't count out a guy like Cruz.
Well, he's third, Lee, and not for nothing, John Kasich has won one state. What is he thinking? Does he want to stay in this contest until they get to Cleveland? Does he think that he can, because he looks more reasonable, I guess, at times, that he will actually get the nomination somehow in a contested convention?
I mean, I think there's a lot of theories about why he's doing it. Number one, there's people that say that he might be Trump's running mate. I mean, could that possibly be so that if he stays in, then Cruz doesn't have the chance to actually get the votes to beat Trump? That's one theory. The second theory is he really thinks that there is a path for him to go and maybe be the candidate that would win in an open, brokered, contested, whatever you want to call it, convention. And number three, he might really believe when he sees polls like this that he is the candidate that can win. Now, my question is, when you see a poll like this, is he a candidate? I mean, number one, this is of all voters, and so he does have an appeal to Democrats. He does have an appeal to independents. This doesn't necessarily mean that he could win in a Republican primary. And number two, he has sort of been in the back seat. He hasn't been out there. He hasn't been scrutinized. He hasn't been tested. After he would be the front runner, after he would be out there with every, warts and all, would he be able to sustain that kind of a lead?
And I'll point to the terror attacks this past week, because after Paris, Donald Trump, in the overall general real clear politics polling average, he went up in a 6-week period like 17 percentage points. And you've seen this back and forth of economics, terrorism, back to economics, which we saw on Super Tuesday 2.0, maybe now back to terrorism. If it's terrorism, it's Donald Trump's to win.
Yeah, I agree. I think when we're talking about economics, Kasich has the advantage. When we're talking about terrorism, there's nothing really there that he can say. And he's been able to portray himself the way he wants to right now, which is I'm the economic choice. If you want stability, if you want responsible governance. If we move to terrorism, again, Kasich's message goes away. He's sort of in the background saying, hey, look at me. In the meantime, Trump's got the center stage. And so I agree. This really, I think, favors Trump.
And just stay right there, Brian. I want to bring up this. This sounds like something that Bernie Sanders would be outraged about. Pandering to the 1%. The Hillary Victory Fund is throwing a fundraiser for the Democratic frontrunner on April 15th, starring George Clooney and his wife Amal Clooney. Tickets to sit at the head table with the Clooneys and Hillary Clinton, I don't know if Bill will be there, will cost a couple $353,000. The event is one of only 2 being hosted by the Clooneys. I guess it's okay to take money from celebrities, but not okay to take money from Wall Street, which he's done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you get the reputation as being the champion of the small guy when you're taking donations like this. And, you really see the Democratic Party reversing on the taking money from special interest lobbies. I mean, this is, from an economist's perspective, this is not a good sign, because it's these kind of donations that buy special access. Special access gets you special breaks. That's not really the direction we want to see the economy going. So from the economist's perspective, you look at this and you cringe a little bit.
Is this money well spent, Jack?
I want to know where the 3 comes from. Like, why wasn't it just an even 350 grand? Where I don't know. But I do want to get back to the Kasich point, because I think it says as much about the primary system as it does about Trump, Cruz, or Kasich. The problem with the primary system is that the most extreme voters get out there. They're the excited ones. So Trump and Cruz are the choice of the most extreme Republicans. But Kasich would be the choice. You mentioned independents. I mean, let's face it. When people go to the polls in November, the far left's going to vote for Hillary because that'll be their only choice. The far right's going to vote for whoever the Republicans put up. The fight is going to be in the middle. You're going to go into that voting booth and you're going to hold your nose and you're going to vote for one of these people because all of them have high negatives. More people will hold their nose and vote for Hillary than Trump or Cruz. More people will vote for Kasich than for Hillary. And a Wall Street Journal editorial said it. You know, what's the point of politics? It's to win the election. And Kasich is the guy who'd do that.
Yeah, but Kasich is another McCain and another Mitt Romney. Again, likable but can't win. All right, we'll leave it right there.